Good morning. Had a good night. Camped near a big stream, so I had good water source. And water is a problem here. I've had long carries and had to ration a little bit, which is surprising for Maine. But I'm at the top of Moody Mountain, which is kind of unspectacular. There's lots of trees in the way, so you don't have much of a view. But I wanted to talk a little bit about hiking. It's way different for me now on the AT because I'm encountering a lot of young hikers who now have trail legs, and they are blasting through this. And almost every one I see is slack packing. So that is becoming a thing here in New Hampshire and Maine. Whoa, this is steep. And so I'm not trying to compete with them at all, but it is amazing to see them dance over the boulders and just power up the mountains. And I recognize that that is not my skill set at my age. I don't have the leg strength they do, and I don't have the balance they do. And top that with the fact that as a child I had some pretty severe ear infections, and some of them I think have affected my balance. So my goal is to stay safe and not get hurt and hike long days to get the miles in. And even at that, I encountered one young fella yesterday who was just flying down the mountain, and he said, yeah, these rocks and steep climbs have really slowed my time down. He said, I was doing 10 miles a day, and now I can only do 7 or 8. Well, even as slow as I go, I did 17 yesterday, and that's really off my what I need to be doing to finish this calendar year. I'm hoping I can make it up on the PCT. Plus, in a way, I think a lot of the hard part of Maine is in the beginning. I mean, there'll be tough things, and of course it ends with Katahdin, which is maybe one of the toughest parts in all of Maine. But anyhow, that's what I'm looking at. The mountain I went up now had iron foot rungs cemented into the mountains, wooden ladders, rock staircases. It even had handrails to assist in certain places. It was that steep. And the Maine trail builders, even though I wish they'd do more switchbacks on this steep stuff, or follow the contour up the mountain instead of straight up, they've really gone the extra mile to try and make things manageable for people. So I appreciate that. Okay, that's it for now. Moving along with my series on the criminal legal system and the problems, we've talked about the adversarial nature of this system. We've talked about plea deals and covered the bail system. All of those are problem areas. And today I wanted to talk about accountability for the officials who administer the criminal legal system. First off, I want to point out that the number one cause for wrongful convictions is official misconduct. That means police, prosecutors, judges, and in some cases, even defense attorneys. And how would you like it if you went to a car mechanic who had no civil or criminal accountability for the work he did? So you take it in for a brake job and pick the car up, and you go for a ride on the interstate, and you're in a wreck because the brakes failed, and you were permanently injured, and 2 of your family members were killed, and it was all because the guy didn't do his work properly. And part of the reason he didn't do it is because he had no accountability. Well, that's not the case, of course. In our world, if a mechanic screws up, he's going to be held criminally or civilly responsible. Same with doctors. I mean, are you going to go to a doctor who has no accountability and takes no responsibility for the surgery he does on you? No, you're not going to do that. In every aspect of our society, food production, heck, even the person that does your hair, I mean, if they screw up, they can get sued. But strangely enough, the very people who administer our, quote, justice are above the law. The police have what's called qualified immunity, and prosecutors and judges have absolute immunity. So that is a big problem. And that's why we have so many cases of wrongful convictions, is because these jokers can do whatever they want and get by with it. And they do, and they will continue doing that. It's beyond comprehension that that's the case. The thing is, our lawmakers are by and large lawyers. Judges and prosecutors are lawyers, and they have each other's backs professionally. And so that's why we have this situation. And it's wrong, and it needs to change. So I'll leave it at that. I probably went on too long, but I want you to fully understand that that is one of the driving factors for all the wrongful convictions in this country. And if you have any doubts, just look at Tom Coleman, a crooked cop who I talked about, and I encourage anybody to look it up on the internet. Tom Coleman in Tulia, Texas, Tulia, put over 30 people behind bars for his amoral sting operation, and he didn't get any prosecution at all. He got fired for another reason, but related to that, multiple people did lots of years behind bars just because of his despicable behavior. And it continues to happen. When you're in court and there's a cop and you're the one on trial, everybody's going to believe the cop. They have a lot of power for that reason. The cops are supposed to be the good guys, and by and large they are. But a crooked cop, they still are the one that is believed in the courtroom, however audacious the charges are. Okay, I'm supposed to be hiking, so I'll let you go, and we'll be back again soon. I've been hiking tough trails all day long and no good views to speak of. And this one is obstructed, but it still gives you a good idea of the character of Maine. And so here goes. Lots of water, and there'll be more to come. Can't wait to get up on the saddlebacks. That's one of my favorite places to get images, and let's hope it'll be a good, clear day. I was able to get a shuttle. I'm doing the Bigelow Mountains in Maine right now. It's supposed to be a rainy day, and the saddlebacks have a lot of sheer granite, so I'm putting that off. And this is going to be challenging. Going straight up. It's August 25th. I'm in the Bigelows. It's supposed to rain today. It rained last night. And you can see this cloud blasting through a gap in the mountains. So the rain's holding off for now. I hope it stays. So I'm on Bigelow Mountain West, and straight ahead is Bigelow Mountain Avery. So that's my next destination. Got to do a lot of descent before we get up there though. Coming to you from the top of North Crocker Mountain in Maine. It's nasty weather time again. Luckily it's not raining, but it's fog and heavily misting, and I had to put my pack cover on. They needed the moisture, and turns out I am the trail rainmaker. Oh boy. So on to South Crocker. We'll see if the weather clears any. It's only a mile away. The view from the real Saddleback Mountain will be even more spectacular, but there's no telling what it'll be like when I get there. This is one part of the trail I really look forward to seeing, and so far the rain's holding off. I think this is one of the most spectacular views on the whole AT. I'm on the horn, and over there is Saddleback Mountain, and you can see kind of where I'll be going. But there are 360-degree views if I don't fall off these rocks. Head across and get up to that last mountain for the day. Last mountain of the day. There's another airstrip down there, and this is a ski resort there on Saddleback Mountain. So last views, it's windy and cold up here. And yesterday hikers met with a thunderstorm and hail and lots of rain, and I want to get off the mountain before that happens again.
I'm with you. I keep telling myself I'm only halfway here.
My right foot cranked up. Hey, you guys have a nice day. Oh, we got a. Well, I think that was. I don't think we. Oh, nice. I think I got enough.
This is the famous Katahdin sign. Quite a climb. There's a cairn over there. That's actually the high point. I went over and touched it to make it official. And there's another part of Katahdin Mountain. There's something called the knife edge that some people hike. I have no intention of doing that. But it's a beautiful day up here. There are people in t-shirts and shorts, and they are comfortable. I am about to cross the famous A-Ball Bridge going southbound. You'll hear hikers talk about the A-Ball Bridge, and I think this is a snowmobile path on the side. One side is for vehicles and one side is for snowmobiles, or pedestrians in my case. Yeah, that's what that is. It's for snowmobiles. So that's a big thing in the winter here, and it keeps a lot of resorts and motels in business. People really like doing it. So this is kind of the beginning or end, depending on which direction you're going, for the 100-mile wilderness, which is really not much of a wilderness. Supposed to rain today, and oh, I don't know if I showed you that. There's a blaze. So we are on the official AT, and I don't see many American flags along here. I'm hoping to get a place in a shelter. It would be, gosh, the first time since I think this winter that I've been in a shelter. But if it's raining, it'd be really nice not to have to set up my tent and get it all wet. Okay, I'm in the 100-mile wilderness, southbound, just starting. And I wanted to resume my talk about some of the problems with our criminal justice system. And I've talked about the adversarial nature of it, that it's about winning and losing and not finding the truth. I've talked about bail, plea deals, and the fact that the officials who administer our system are immune from wrongdoing. And today I wanted to talk about police, and specifically about training police. So, almost every profession requires education, and people that want to enter those professions pay for schooling, and that is sometimes quite significant. Police, on the other hand, largely get hired by an agency, and that agency will pay them to go to school and pay for the schooling. So these people who enter police work really have no skin in the game. If they pass, great. If they don't, fine. It's usually kind of a military structure where there's physical fitness. And of course, once they're done with the training, in most cases, that physical fitness requirement is disregarded for the remainder of their careers. But they only, on average, get 21 weeks, according to some sources. It varies from source to source, but it's not very much compared to other countries. Police talk about their dangerous work, and it is. I mean, police are thrust into the dark side of our culture and see things most people don't experience in their lifetimes. But the point I want to make is, while it's dangerous work, most years police are way more likely to die from suicide than they are from being attacked or dying in the line of duty. And I suspect that the high rate of suicides in police are due to maybe a lack of training. They're not emotionally or intellectually prepared for what they're going to see and have to deal with. And so they just don't have the tools to deal with that when it occurs. Also, our police kill a lot of civilians. The rate of police-caused deaths is much higher than in most other countries. And again, that could be due to a lack of training. I think that probably plays a role, because where police get more training, the rate of civilian deaths is markedly lower. Okay, that's what I wanted to say about police. It's I'm a big advocate for police. I think that if they get more training and are better prepared, they certainly need to be paid more than what they're paid now. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that say, oh, he has an anti-police agenda. And the truth be that I'm an advocate for police, and I think we are always going to need police to maintain the peace. Unfortunately, a lot of times police accelerate an already bad situation and create the opposite of peace. Okay, I'm climbing and that makes me huff and puff. I'll call it a day. I have to tell you, it's been a little bit intimidating being up in the northeast here. All these hikers are approaching Katahdin and finishing their through hikes, and they're in prime shape. And I guess I'm in prime shape for my age, but compared to them, I really struggle. They just fly along these rocks effortlessly and up steep elevations with ease. And I lack the leg strength and balance to do that. And it's tempting to try and go faster, but I know my limits, and it's not worth falling and injuring myself. So while it's depressing somewhat and frustrating, I just do it my style, my way, which is to hike longer than they do. And I don't take breaks very often, if at all. And I don't take zeros, and I don't mess around in town. And ultimately it's paying off. And I hope come December 31st I will have covered all the ground I need to. But oh, to have young legs again, it would be wonderful. And I never was a very good athlete, really, so I'm not saying I would have been able to go faster or whatever, but anyhow, that's what I had to say about being here in the Northeast, and it was really evident on Katahdin. I mean, those people would blow by me. And I had my pack on. They all had little day packs. The rangers let you use a day pack just for going up for the day. But it's kind of silly. I've come this far with the pack, and I didn't want to ditch it. So people commented, and I just said, you people are sure worried about my pack. And that sort of shut them up. But we're making our way through this 100-mile wilderness. It's really much better trail than what I've been dealing with. And so should get a few miles in today. Happy about that.